Welcome for those that are here. Welcome online. Thank you for joining. This is Science Storytelling, Ignite Curiosity with Book Creators. So because this is going to be a small group, which I did predict, because science is not always the most popular. And I know this because I have trained on it or done presentations on it in different venues many times. And I guess I need to stand over here so you guys can see me online. This platform is interesting, but it's also very important to do hybrid, in my opinion, because we need to be equitable, even though I just said the E word. Anyway, I didn't say that. Anyway, so my name is Ashley Winkle, and I am the Associate Director of the Distance Education Professional Development Center at TCAL, which stands for, here we go, let's see if I get it right, the Texas Center for the, yes, it is. The Texas Center for the Advancement of Literacy, Learning. Okay, I usually say learners. Okay. And we are housed at Texas A&M. We are actually funded by the Texas Workforce Commission. But previous to that, I was a teacher. I was a GED teacher as well as an ABE teacher and distance learning teacher. So as a GED teacher, I was one of those teachers who taught all 4 topics. I don't know that I recommend that as a teacher, but that's how our program was set up. I did that for about 7 years. So I started in 2013 until 2020, and then I moved up to the state level. So I do have the experience. And it was challenging, right? Anybody who teaches GED knows that teaching 4 subjects twice a week, 3 hours each time, it's very challenging. So, and for me, just teaching science in general was challenging. So anytime I see an opportunity for something new, to do with science, I am very much interested in. But I am also very much a technology person. So I am a book creator. I'm a certified book creator, author, as well as a book creator trainer. I just became officially a book creator trainer, and it is my favorite tool to use. So I was excited to kind of combine the two of them. Welcome. So with that, what we're going to do, so that's a little bit about me. I am, by the way, using Book Creator. This is Book Creator I'm using right now. This is easier for me to demonstrate with because we are in it. This is not traditionally how you use Book Creator, but I just went ahead and used it as a presentation tool. Usually you use it like a fun, creative book, online book. But what I'd like to do is do a little interactive introductions because we do have an online audience. I would like the online audience to participate as well. Rena is going to drop a link into the chat on Whova, right? So hopefully you can either go to the link in the chat or you can simply go to slido.com. Welcome, everybody. I'm glad to see people showing up. Yay. So please join us. If you are in person, you can scan the QR code. And the QR code should take you directly to Slido. I will have it open in just a moment. Do not panic if I move over because it will still be up for you. I just have to... Wait, I'm in the wrong place. I haven't done Slido. Oh, present. Now all we have to do is get the internet to work. Okay, here we go. Okay, welcome. Hello. If you're just joining, you can still participate in our poll. So our first question today, I'm just trying to get a feel for who is joining us today. What is your role in adult education? Looks like we've got instructor and administrator so far. Some leadership. Mostly instructors. Has anybody got multiple roles? I know some people are still getting on, so we'll give it just a minute or so. This is a problem. I can hear the people next to me here. Hate those walls, those thin walls. All right. Okay, lots of instructors, so that's fantastic. So great. All right, I'm gonna ask you guys just a couple more questions. Okay, just out of curiosity, how familiar are you with Book Creator? You've never heard of it? You've heard of it but don't know much about it. You've seen it but you don't have an account, or you have an account and you use it for various things but not in the classroom. Okay, looks like so far most people have never heard of it. Some people have heard of it but don't know much about it. Okay, no problem. All right. It doesn't look like anybody has an actual account. All right, great. And we'll just do one more question. How can adult educators create engaging and meaningful science experience for adult learners? If you are in the room or online, you can type it. If you would like to share out loud, I am open to that as well, if you don't feel like typing that on your phone. Hello. I think that my face is up there in the corner. Okay, we've got learn from real world experience. Welcome. We're just doing a little quick little activity before we get excited, get started. I'd like to excited, better get started. Finding real ways to make science discussions, language, visuals, content, activities, hands-on. Okay. I think we group work always. Examples. Okay, great. All right. We will come back. I know some people, it looks like, are still participating, so we can take a look at that again. We will come back to our Slido at the end of our session today. I do have quite a bit of material today, so hopefully this will be a good, engaging session. I am excited to have you guys here today. But we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay. So our objectives today are, by the end of this session, we're basing these things on three things that Book Creator likes to focus on. We're looking at the why to use it, trying it, and applying it. So we want to recognize the power of storytelling to make science more relatable. I can't talk. Jeez, it's been 2 days and I'm done. Okay. Relatable and meaningful for our adult learners. Use Book Creator to combine text, visuals, and data to tell engaging science stories. And apply. So design science-based digital story in Book Creator that helps learners connect concepts to real life experiences. So the power of science storytelling. So I'm going to come back over here so that I'm in front of the online audience. How many people do I have online? Okay, I do have some people online. Okay, great. I'm going to set this down and see how this goes. The hybrid situation is a little challenging. You guys can still hear me okay? Okay, I'm pretty loud. Okay, so making science more relatable and accessible. A lot of you guys said that already when you're teaching science to make it more accessible. So some ideas behind that. So make science engaging and non-intimidating. I, for one, was not a science person in school. And I remember like that was a painful subject for me because it intimidated me. because I just could not grasp it. And I feel like my students were like, but at the same time, I feel like when my students tended to pass that one, but I don't know why. I really don't. I don't know if other people have that experience, because when that test first came out in 2014, I was like, oh, there's no way I can teach this because I didn't understand it. Some of those like charts and stuff, like the graphs, I had never seen a scatter plot. Like, I don't know if it's my age or what, because I think people her age, she works with me. This is Rena. But I think people her age, she's 24, but I think they grew up learning those. And I was like, I had to go learn those things. I was like, what is this? So, making these things relevant to our learners' lives and making them comfortable for them is really important. Enhancing comprehension and engagement. So, narratives enhance understanding and retention by linking science to real world applications. And then bridging theory and practice. So, connects theory to practice, building skills for hands on learning and workforce readiness. So, some real world example ideas. So we're going to look at 3 examples. So we could a workforce application. So example 1 might be adult learners in a trade program create a digital book. So this is a digital book. So Book Creator would allow you to make an actual digital book. I will be showing you Book Creator, the basics of it later on, so that you can see what it looks like beyond what we're looking at right now. But this would be create a digital book about the chemistry behind welding, the physics of construction, or the importance of workplace safety regulations. Why that might work is it links science to career skills, improving retention and job readiness. I will also tell you that you get all of this at the end of the session. I will give you all of the resources, and you'll get a copy of this Book Creator. So don't feel like you have to take pictures unless you want to. You're fine to, you can do whatever you want. Our second example might be science in everyday life. Now, this one I relate to, and this one will probably know why I relate to it, because it's a learner creates a digital story explaining the science behind meal prepping. Well, I do this every week. So, how heat affects proteins, the role of acidity in food preservation, or how nutrition impacts health. So why does this work? Well, in this case, makes science engaging and makes it non-intimidating, because this is something a lot of people do, especially busy people who, I don't know, I work all week. I don't want to cook, right? So I do it on the weekend. So I'm preparing for the week so that I don't have to order out. So I don't have to eat fast food. And this is a good practice for our students, right? Instead of eating poorly, we might want to encourage them and maybe help them build better habits in their lives. And it's making it relevant to their lives and their careers. Our third example, how about environmental science and community impact? So a student documents how local water quality affects their community, including scientific research, personal interviews, and possible solutions. Combines science with social impact, fostering critical thinking and problem-solving skills. So now we're going to take a look the benefits of Book Creator in adult education. So this is just a little video. It doesn't have sound, so don't worry about that part. Or it does have sound, but it's nothing important. It just kind of gives you a quick little overview. It's very short. Okay. So that just kind of gives you an overview of what Book Creator can do. So Book Creator is a really powerful digital tool. So it's user friendly. It has a free version. That's always the number one question, right? There is a free version. As a teacher, there's also a paid version. Obviously, there always is, right? They have to exist. And I will say it is worth the investment if you have a program that will support that decision. It is not a huge investment, and you're gonna ask me the price, and I don't remember on the top of my head, but it's not. I think it's like, I don't remember. Can you look that up? I don't remember. It's like $130 a year or something. It's not a lot, but it's user friendly. But it's software that applies. It's really widely used in K-12. I will say this, that if you use it, you want a computer. Your students need to have a computer. It's not great on a phone. I've never used it on a phone. I've seen it on a phone. It looks okay. Looks better on a computer, but you're really teaching digital literacy skills, which is going to be better on a computer. I know they have an app on an iPad, but I've never used it. Students are able to create and explore interactive multimodal digital books. It combines text, images, audio, and video to share stories, knowledge, and ideas and engage in format. I will tell you, as a director, I use it for everything. It has nothing to do with students. It has to do with everything I do, though. And I use it for training purposes. I use it for onboarding. I use it to keep myself organized. I use it for trainings. So I use it for a lot of things. But if I was a teacher, I would be using it for a lot. But the really nice thing about it is they have so many different multimedia tool options. They have over 50 text options. Image search, they now have my favorite thing in life. They've got AI connected to it, so you can create images with, and it's the best one, so it's Adobe. So you can, that's what I played with this one. I'll point out the ones that I created with AI, because I was like, this is so much better than searching for images. They can just create it for me, and they're pretty. And pretty makes me happy. Video and voice recording. So it can be very personable to your student, and they can do it back to you. So I can create a video of myself if I wanted to, which I don't, but if I wanted to, students can do that back. They have a pen tool that is fun, because you could like use the pen tool, try to create a bicycle, and like if I try to create a bike with a pen tool, it's gonna look terrible, but it'll make it like turn into a bike. Another AI feature. Shapes, icons, arrows, and images. They offer portrait, square, and landscape. There's over, and these are all in the free version, there's over 100 accessibility features included. And these days, accessibility is so important to everybody. That they have speech to text and text to speech, alternative text for the images, word highlighting, closed captioning automatically goes into the videos. If you create a video, it's automatically on there, so you don't have to do it yourself. Keyboard navigation, and the option for open dyslexic font. Other standout accessibility features. Some of these things may have changed, there may be more now, but dictation supports 120 languages. Add captions to transcripts to video. Screen reader support, and spell check and predict text. So, telling and get.
For the premium version is $13 a month or $130 annually.
I was right.
It's only for your premium.
She just said to the online audience that it's how much a month?
For the premium is $13.
$13 a month or 130 a year? Yeah, so it's pretty reasonable. You know, it's not like 1,400 or something, which a lot of these are. I think Nearpod, the first time I looked at it, was 1,400 a year. So, and that is going to be for one teacher account. But this allows you to do so many things with your students, which I will get into more. But for the free version, I will tell you, you get a library. And I'll show you later what that means to you. But you get a library that allows you to have 40 books in that library. But what that means is, like, I can have a library and I can invite all of you. You do have to have an account, which is sometimes not a little inconvenient, but it's not hard to create accounts. So that's nice. But you can also, all of your students can have a book in that account, right? In your library, you can see all of them together at the same time. Now, the nice thing is with the premium is the students can collaborate on the same books. Now that's a game changer to me. In addition, you can add feedback to those books and you can go back and forth. So it's nice though that in the library on the free version, you can see what they're doing and they can see each other. So that's a nice peer to peer opportunity as well. So it's pretty cool. I would though, if I was a teacher and I liked it, I mean, I would try it first. I went a long time in just the free version. And then I was just like, I'm using this all the time. I want it. So, I told, well, I have the money, obviously, in this position, but if I was a teacher, I would go to my program director and say, it's worth the money. But if I didn't have, in these days, oh, who knows if we have money, but if you have the money, I think it's worth the investment. So AI, obviously, me playing with AI, don't ask me what I typed in, but it had something to do with science key features. And so I played around and a little bit, not AI. So another one of my favorite big selling points, didn't learn about, like I was already using Book Creator, didn't know about this till I went to this huge technology conference. And they did this crazy thing, right? They did this thing. They showed me that you can turn a PDF into a book creator. And I was like, wait, what now? So this is just an example. So this is a PDF that we had done for one of our yearly conferences. And it looks like this, it's just a normal PDF. It's pretty, looks good, right? It's PDF. We've all seen them. Nothing amazing about that. But what Book Creator did is I took the same PDF during that conference because I was like, wait. So I took this, put it in Book Creator, and I uploaded it. Within less than a minute, it turned it into this. Super cool. So it's now a book online instead of me having to scroll up and down. So that's one of the things that you can do that's pretty cool. So to me, I'm like, instead of looking at boring SOPs, which I have to look at, unfortunately, I would like it to look something more like that. Other things you can do is you can create your own book. So this is just an example of, has nothing to do with science, by the way, but just an example that like, this is just a book we created we have a call center and at our at our organization. And so I created this onboarding, and this is my table of contents. This takes me to different pages. You can embed, videos, just different things that you can do throughout. I embedded different ed tech tools. There's just tons of things that you can do. So that was just me creating my own. But they also have templates. And this is an older one. They have all sorts of new ones now. Oh, I didn't link it, but it's a newspaper one. So kind of a fun idea. I'll show you other templates they have but they have a whole bunch of templates that are directly related to science that I found. I'll show you a couple of them that stood out to me that work for GED science. But you can also remix. They have some book creators that have already been made that you could take and make your own, which things like that always make me happy. A lot of them are going to be focused on K-12, but you can also always edit them and make them focused for our own needs. This is just an example of a vocabulary one. Again, this would be more for probably ESL. And this one was for international women, but I'm going to go show you the science ones because that's more about what we're talking about today. So we have a template gallery. They also have templates and themes. You can choose different book styles. So you can have portraits, squares, landscapes. They also have comic book styles if you want to have a little bit more fun with it. And then they have an entire library of resources that you can take a look at. And then they have graphic organizers. This is what I've been playing around with a lot, which I will show you a demonstration of that shortly. And then they're just showing you how you can remix some of them. So quick just assessment check to make sure everybody's paying attention. Which of the following is not included in the free version of Book Creator? Speech to text, closed caption on video, dictation for 120 languages, or a mobile app? Anybody remember? Yes, mobile app. D. There is no mobile app. I don't know if that'll ever happen. I don't know how useful that would be. But at this time, anyway, there is no mobile app. Okay, now we are going to get into how much time do I have? 40 minutes? Class? 30 minutes. 40 minutes. Okay. All right. Class integration ideas. So, this is the science. I looked at, they've got science book section on there, a collection of science books that were already made in Book Creator. So these are just some ideas. Now, again, most of these were made by students. Most of these are made by younger students, obviously, because I don't think almost anybody in adult education is actually using Book Creator that I know of, anyhow. But these give you some ideas of what they can do. So we'll take a look at a couple of them. Some that stood out. So this is an example. Some of them are not amazing. Some of them are. But we will click to begin. So this is just, you know, a student is putting some information on there. Obviously they're doing, but as you're looking at these, you kind of want to ask yourself, what kind of skills do you see a student developing as they're doing this? Vaccines and antibiotics. You'll notice on the Book Creator, so they can put images.
Smallpox and cowpox are both diseases but are different in many ways. About 500 million people died from smallpox in the 20th century. Yet, on the other hand, cowpox isn't as common to die from. Some people might say it's rare to die from. It's hard to believe, but cowpox.
So those were some different science ideas, anyhow, for the Book Creator that were already developed by students. But of course, again, like I said, those were young students, so you can get some inspiration. And then, of course, there is, I recommend using the graphic organizers, because the graphic organizers I've been finding very useful, because you can use them, but then you can edit them to make them how you want it. So I found a couple that I found were pretty, that I thought could be useful. So this could be used for a science activity, claim, evidence, and reasoning. I think that's always useful in GED. Scientific method could be used with an experiment. Assessments in science, their goal setting. I thought you could do different things here, maybe with practice tests, something like that. You could take this and edit it in some ways. But I could show you, I'm going to show you right now how if you go to this edit button and you click on this plus over here, so you got two things. I'll get into this a little bit more, but you have everything. That was fun. Are you okay? I'm sorry. Did I scare you? Put this over here. You've got this section over here is where you do everything. So you've got your tools, your media, and your apps. So in this section, to find your templates, this is where you find all of your graphic organizers. And so if I go over here, and if I type in science, it pulls up all of these graphic organizers for me. Like they've already got like scatter plots and line graphs and observation charts. So there's a lot of different opportunities that you could play with. Okay. Some other ideas for science with Book Creator in adult education. Some things that might be considered are digital journals. So possibly have learners create digital journals to document science concepts. They could use topics such as cell structures in life science as a focus, include images diagrams, and explanatory text, and encourage active learning and personal connection to this material. Another idea might be to develop an interactive lab report. So after experiments on topics like motion or energy, have students create interactive lab reports in Book Creator, include videos of their experiments to illustrate processes, add data tables to display results clearly, include written reflections to explain findings and interpretations, and then reinforce understandings of the scientific method and data analysis. And then a third idea might be to design collaborative science books. So facilitate group projects using Book Creator. So assign each group a GED science topic, maybe something like human body systems, and then maybe have each student contribute a chapter on a specific subtopic or system, and then create a collaborative digital book as a class, and then promote teamwork and have peer-to-peer learning. Okay, so this is the section that we're going to look more at the Book Creator itself. I do not expect the people in the room, especially, to do this part because I know nobody has a laptop in front of them probably, which is fine. I have this on your digital handout that you can look at this at another time. So if you want to, but I'm going to show you what the library looks like. That's why I put this on here. So, and if you want to go and do this and explore later, you're welcome to do that. But I wanted you to see what the library looked like. So is everything okay online, by the way? Okay. Okay. So this is, if I were to invite you guys to the library and you were brand new and you'd never used Book Creator, what it would do is I would send you this invite code here, and you would access it from your computer. And it would be a link, or if you already had a Book Creator, you would just input this code here. And then this is where you would be. I could see you from my end, because this is my library that has 40 books in it. And then I can see who's in here. Right now, I've got Rena, who's right here. Now I can add Rena as I can promote her to co-teacher, and then once she's a co-teacher, she can do whatever she wants in my books. So now she can co-edit or anything like that, because she's a co-teacher now. So I've got my test student is in here. So now here I am as the student. So what I would do now that I'm in here is I'm going to create a book. Right here, you see I can import a PDF, which I'd love to show you, but this isn't my computer. I could try though. I don't know what's on this computer, so. I don't see anything, do you? No, there's probably nothing. But anyway, that's where I would import a PDF and it would come in as a book. But anyway, there's templates already made. There's an error, of course, when I'm demoing. But anyway, you can pick any of these if you want. You cannot create a book in this library as you are not a member of it. That's interesting. All right, well, I'm going to go out. It must be because I'm a student. I've never done that before. Okay, well, let me get out of that and go back in. Google. Okay, well, I can show you this then. All right, so when you log into Book Creator, it's always going to ask you if you're a student or a teacher. So obviously, if you're a student, they will sign in as a student. If you're a teacher, you're going to go in as a teacher. So once you're here, I am literally in that library right now. So once I am here, I'm going to create a book. These are all templates that I might want to choose from. I usually don't go this direction, but these are options for you if you wanted a template. I usually go with a blank book. I usually do a square. Once you are here, these are all your pages that you can see. So it's kind of like a PowerPoint, you know, you can see all of your slides. It's the same as that. Once you go, so here is your cover. You have your plus sign, you have, they call this the inspector button. But when you go to your plus sign, this is where all of kind of the magic happens. This is where you add your images, you have your camera, if I want to take a picture of myself, your pen, your text, or if I want to take a video of myself, I can record myself here. Here's my media, and this is where, again, where I find my templates. If I want to add some sort of a graphic organizer, and you see there's a lot of different options. And in the beginning, I didn't pay attention to this, but recently I've been playing with this a lot. It just makes for prettier slides, to be honest with you. Other things that you can do that, oh, of course, we have to know this part, right? The AI generator. You can also do, before I get into that, you have Giphies, however you say that word. You have feedback stickers. So if you want to add feedback to a student, you can add a fun little sticker. You've got animated emojis. Can't live life without that. You've got 3D models, which I kind of messed with the other day, but you see there's a lot of other things. But the AI image generator. So the AI image generator is linked to Adobe. So what should I put in? Science. What should I put? Give me some ideas. Science.
Mitosis.
Science mitosis. Lord knows what's going to come up on that. Oh. Violates firefly guidelines. I don't know what that means. You know this is only happening because I'm live. I haven't had a single problem. It doesn't like mitosis. All right. Science. I'm up here again. So, how about science? If it does it again, I'm gonna scream. Okay. Now that we're live, it's not gonna work. Okay, well anyway, so it creates different images, right? But the thing is, you can mess around with it and you can add different effects. Like if you don't, like, I don't really care for any of those. So I would probably keep playing around with it to see what else it creates. But it does all that, like within moments. It's pretty crazy. And so you can play around with it. But anyway, then after you find one that you like, we'll see what it comes up with this time. Sometimes it comes up with good things. Sometimes, like, I like those a lot better, right? So if you like one of those, we'll just pick like this one. So say I like that one, you add it to your book. And there it is. And now it's pretty. And now you can do different things with it, of course. You know, you can move it around however you want. And then if I want to add things, I'm just demonstrating at this point. You know, I could add text to it. You know, but even within the text, you have all these different things you can do. You can bold it, you know, you can add a link if you wanted to add a link. You can highlight it, bullets, you know, it does a lot. I could, let's see if this will allow me to do this on this computer. It's weird to use a computer that's not yours, and I'm recording all of this, and it is taking everything I'm recording. That's great, okay. And so now it recorded what I said, but you also have math things you can do on there if you wanted to, and science has math in it, right? So there's another opportunity. And then you click done. Of course, I know this makes no sense for my thing, but it gives you an idea what's going on here. So anyway, so now I've done all this. Oh, Zoom is getting my way. You go away.
This is awesome. Computer, it's weird to use a computer that's not yours, and I'm recording all of this and it is taking everything I'm recording. That's great.
So anyway, that gives you an idea. Some other things, I'm just kind of showing you some random things it does. The pen is fun, although this never works well for me because I'm not good at drawing with it. But like if you take the pen, let's see if I can do it. And I'm trying to draw a heart. It doesn't think it looks like a heart. Well, anyway, it's trying to figure out what I'm drawing to make it pretty. So let's pretend I'm drawing one of these things. Why am I so bad at drawing these things? But let's say I'm trying to draw this. And now I have a pretty bird. That's not at all what I was trying to draw, but that's auto, what do they call that? Auto draw, I think. So anyway, so that's kind of cool too. But anyway, it does a lot of different things. And then the inspector key does the background things. So in the inspector key, you can do a background. You can change the colors. You might do different paper styles. You can also change borders if you want to do it that way. Or patterns, yeah, there's different, just different things you can do with the background as well. So there's a lot of opportunity for creativity. This is where you can add comment. Oh, you can now translate comments into 130 plus languages, so that's new. They keep changing things. And then this is where you can add a comment. But you don't just have to add it in text anymore. You can also add it. Do you have a question?
Yes, if you change it to different languages,
If you change it to different languages, does it what? Will you see the English and the other language? Let's find out, because I don't know. I've never done it, but we will find out. So you want to know if I change it here? We cancel. Let's start over. Translate comments into 130 languages. I'm glad I have you here, Rena, because you might have to figure out how to do this.
post it.
Post it?
Yep.
Post.
And then
Maybe here. Translate. That stupid Zoom thing keeps getting my way. What I do?
can't find it.
The Zoom thing? Oh, here, more.
Below that one.
This one, right? Okay. Okay, next.
Spanish.
Spanish. Spanish is so boring. We should do Arabic. It's not boring. I'm just kidding. I'm learning Spanish. I don't know Arabic. Okay. Arabic. Yes. The answer is yes.
Say it out loud though, if you hover over it.
Do you speak Arabic? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Say that again. Oh, I can't. I wonder, will it speak it? Probably not. Anyway, so that answers the question. Yeah, that would be, because if it didn't, that could be complicated. So yeah, so those are some things. I'm sure I'm forgetting like 1,000 things. Yeah, so anyway, so once you have your book done, you do publish the book, but that doesn't mean like the whole world has to see it. So if you publish it, like you'll give it a title, and this is just obviously me messing around. Sample. That's optional, but you can keep it private. So in this case, I don't want anybody to see it because, well, it's ridiculous. But you can allow remixes, which I always do because sharing is caring. And if somebody actually wants something I've done, I'm fine with them, messing with it. So you could allow remixes, and then you just publish it online. And all that means is somebody could, if it comes across your book creator, they could use it as well.
So when you publish it, it's not available unless you have them. Like,
If you make it public, you would have to have a book creator account.
so you can't just send it to family or friends. Hey,
You could.
check out this book.
You can.
You can read it. He asked if you could send it to others who don't have a book creator. If you just want them to read it, they can read it. I'll show you an example. They can read it, they just can't edit it, is what that would mean. So I'll show you an example. So if we took the one that we're looking at today, which I think I got out of somehow. Here we go. So if I took this one that we're looking at today, which is the one that I've looked at, and I wanted to share it, Uh, wait, I have to go back, don't I? I go back to my library and I click on the dots and I click on, one moment. Maybe I don't do it that way. Have I not published it yet? Share and publish. See, I hadn't published it yet. So once it's here, I've got it public, I've allowed online, and then if I click on read online or copy link, I can share it with anybody and I can just send it to somebody. And I've done that. Like I have this is going to be on your app and I've put it on the resources I'm sharing with you today. So you could take it and anybody could read it. And a lot of times I'll just, yes, go ahead. Here.
Can you add activities? Let's say that you are writing a story, and at the end, you want to test the comprehension of the students. So maybe you add some true or false or multiple choice. Can you do that?
Yes.
Okay.
You could, there's so many things that you could do. Now, I would say what you could do is you could make a template that you have them use. So you could make the template, you could make the template in your library if you wanted everybody to do it. You could make a copy of it and then have them add to it. And then you could have like activities in it for them to do as well. That's what I would do. Like if I was a teacher, which I wish I was, I wish I was a teacher who could make enough. But if I was a teacher, that's probably what I would do. I would make it very interactive. I would have some sections where I had activities in there for them, other portions where I'd have them using their imaginations and using their creativity. What I like about this is, yes, is there a question? Oh, okay.
So looking at the one that she was sharing, the one that she created, there is a you can show online. If you open up the book, there is an assign button, so you can assign it to your students either through, I think this is compatible with Google Classroom if you use that, and it'll make an editable copy for each of your students so that you can go through all of theirs and they don't have to share with other people if they put their own personal stuff or a story, and you can go and give them feedback and grade it.
Yeah, there's a lot of different opportunities. I think like it doesn't have to be like if you don't have the funds to have it where, to pay a paid account, there's a lot of ways you could use it in a free environment. Because I use things free forever because I worked at a nonprofit. We didn't have the funds for a long time. So I think there's a lot of creative ways you could use it either way. I mean, in worst case scenario, I used to have students work together on a computer a lot of times. A lot of times we just don't have computers, right? And so you have to do things like that. But I can definitely see where you could, there's just so many different things that you could do with this. But you could just have them read the books, right? Even just reading is a thing for them. Or if you can just have them on their keyboarding. There's just so many digital opportunities in addition to learning the content. And anytime they are actually learning and engaging and creating something, it's going to stick here a lot better, right? I mean, I remember one time, nothing to do with science, but it was a Pearl Harbor, and I had this project where they all contributed. Back then it was a Google slide deck, but they all contributed to one slide deck, and it was about Pearl Harbor, and they gained so much more out of that project than me just sitting there, up there telling them what was Pearl Harbor. So it's still like that same deeper level of thinking, which is why I get excited about it, I think. All right, getting back to my slides here. Does anybody online have any questions? I don't want you guys to feel that I have forgotten about you. That is a question I don't know.
The students will be able to see it as one of their assignments, and they'll be able to open it up, see their copy, make their edits or comments,
Oh,
and submit it back to you. And you'll get that notification to see their individual work.
I don't have mine linked to, how do you link it to Google Classroom? Do you know? Here. Oh. Sign, I probably can't link it because this account. It doesn't let me.
You can assign it to specific students as well.
Okay. This particular account is linked to Texas A&M and they don't like Google Classroom. So probably if I use my other account, it would probably work, but Texas A&M does not. Texas A&M has a lot of security features, I guess is what I'm trying to say. They don't let me play a lot with technology as much as I want. Well, that's good to know though, because I didn't know that. So that's fun. Anyway, there's a lot of opportunity. I think, the biggest thing I would say is to play with it. And like I said, I didn't use it for a lot in the beginning. I'm seeing if I forgot anything. You can add shapes. That is another thing that you can do. Where are we at on time anyway? Oh, okay. I'm doing pretty well on time actually. But you can add audio. So those are the main features that I covered. And like I said, I learned something new every time. Like they do a lot of sessions online and I would follow them if you can follow them on social media. They have a lot of free PD sessions and every time I do it, I learn something new. But I would like to end this with just some reflections from you. And then I do have to do a quick little survey because we are a research-based organization. That's how we exist and continue to exist. So I will need a quick survey from you today. And I will also share with you a resource with you, and I will put it on the app as well so that you guys have access to all things shared today. And I will pull up our Slido again. In just a moment here. Present. Okay, our last Slido question today. How do you plan to use Book Creator in your science storytelling class for adult learners?
Oh, I figured it out. When you play it, there's the shared classroom. Oh. Where's this? Do you have the document shared with you? Which one? 40 pages?
No, it's on the calendar, Outlook calendar. It has the survey on it and the wakelet. Yeah, it's on my presentation. But it's also on your calendar. Under today's thing.
Thank you.
Thank you. have it set up wrong. I have it set up as a word cloud. That's what I did wrong. Find it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a good day. Thanks, you too.
Thank you so much. This was really good.
Thank you. I'm sorry I gave you a heart attack earlier. We appreciate it. Thank you.